Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
An option that is selected automatically unless an alternative is specified. Loss resulting from failure of a debt to be paid. Act of failing to meet a financial obligation. Fail to pay up. Loss due to not showing up. He lost the game by default. An option that is selected automatically unless an alternative is specified. The deliberate act of failing to pay money. He was indicted for non-payment. Loss resulting from failure of a debt to be paid. Act of failing to meet a financial obligation. Loss resulting from failure of a debt to be paid. Act of failing to meet a financial obligation. Fail to pay up. Serving or used in place of another. An alternative plan. One of a number of things from which only one can be chosen. There is no other alternative. Necessitating a choice between mutually exclusive possibilities. Alternative possibilities were neutrality or war. Pertaining to unconventional choices. An alternative lifestyle. The person or thing chosen or selected. The act of choosing or selecting. Your choice of colors was unfortunate. One of a number of things from which only one can be chosen. My only choice is to refuse. Of superior grade. Choice wines. Appealing to refined taste. Choice wine. The act of choosing or selecting. One of a number of things from which only one can be chosen. What option did I have? The right to buy or sell property at an agreed price. The right is purchased, and if it is not exercised by a stated date, the money is forfeited. Loss of money or decrease in financial value. A person with a record of failing. Someone who loses consistently. Inability to discharge all your debts as they come due. Fraudulent loans led to the failure of many banks. An act that fails. His failure to pass the test. An event that does not accomplish its intended purpose. The surprise party was a complete failure. An unexpected omission. He resented my failure to return his call. Lack of success. He felt that his entire life had been a failure. Loss of ability to function normally. Kidney failure. Failure to act with the prudence that a reasonable person would exercise under the same circumstances. Fail to do something. Leave something undone. Give little or no attention to. The trait of neglecting responsibilities and lacking concern. The state of something that has been unused and neglected. The house was in a terrible state of neglect. Willful lack of care and attention. Leave undone or leave out. Lack of attention and due care. Fail to attend to. He neglects his children. Disappoint, prove undependable to, abandon, forsake. His sense of smell failed him this time. Be unsuccessful. Where do today's public schools fail? Fail to do something. Leave something undone. She failed to notice that her child was no longer in his crib. Stop operating or functioning. The engine failed on the way to town. Prove insufficient. The water supply for the town failed after a long drought. Fail to get a passing grade. She studied hard but failed nevertheless. Fall short in what is expected. She failed in her obligations as a good daughter-in-law. Get worse. Judge unacceptable. The teacher failed 6 students. Be unable. I fail to understand your motives. Become bankrupt or insolvent. Fail financially and close. A number of banks failed that year. The occurrence of an abrupt, transient loss or impairment of consciousness, which is not subsequently remembered, sometimes with light twitching, fluttering eyelids, etc. Common in petit mal epilepsy. Failure to be present. The state of being absent. He was surprised by the absence of any explanation. The time interval during which something or somebody is away. He visited during my absence. The amount by which the cost of a business exceeds its revenue. The company operated at a loss last year. Military personnel lost by death or capture. The disadvantage that results from losing something. His loss of credibility led to his resignation. Euphemistic expressions for death. Gradual decline in amount or activity. Weight loss. Something that is lost. The car was a total loss. The act of losing someone or something. Everyone expected him to win, so his loss was a shock. The experience of losing a loved one. He sympathized on the loss of their grandfather. An antisocial misdeed in violation of the law by a minor. A tendency to be negligent and uncaring. He inherited his delinquency from his father. Non-payment of a debt when due.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.